apparently they're method actors too. I didn't realize that they were method actors. They like fully dove into these characters and got married so that they could then
Yeah,
do these
right.
characters on Beautiful Wedding. Hey everyone, it's David Stark from Watch Your Past. Today I'm talking to Roger Kumble, the writer, director, and producer of Beautiful Wedding, which is coming to digital and on demand on February 13th, 2024. I'm going to talk to him right now. And while you're watching, if you can like and subscribe to this channel, that would be fantastic. I'll spend a lot. Thank you. So, thanks so much for joining me. Today I've got Roger Kumble, the writer, director, and producer of Beautiful Wedding, which is coming to digital and on demand on February 13th, 2024. Roger is a legend in like the rom-com and drama categories. He is the director of one of my favorite movies of all time, Cruel Intentions. He directed Beautiful Disaster that came out a couple of years ago, and now it's the follow-up, Beautiful Wedding. It's finally out. It's coming to digital on demand on February 13th, 2024. It has the same great cast, same kind of ridiculous situations, and a whole lot of heart. I'm excited to talk to him, so thanks so much for joining me.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me, David.
Of course, of course. So, first question, like this is the sequel to Beautiful Disaster. It was hinted at the end of Beautiful Disaster. I remember there was like a little like stinger that you could see, like there's going to be something happening. So did you always like know that you were going to make this, at least both of these movies? Is that how you approached this? Or was that just like a fun tease and you thought like, well, we'll see what happens?
No, it was kind of like we had a kind of a wrap party in Bulgaria, and I said, well, we might as well turn it into a work wrap party. So we just grabbed a bunch of costumes and took our iPhones and just went a little crazy in the hotel. And just, what you kind of try to do these days is because it's on streamer, they shrink the credits,
Mhm.
and you kind of want people to stick around so that people see the hard work the crew's done. So that was kind of the goal in mind at the moment, but it, maybe it could lend itself to a sequel. But it was maybe subconscious. I don't know.
I mean, that is great. That is like very kind of, forward thinking, right? Like you did it to drum up interest, and then maybe it seems like there was enough interest drum up that that you're able to make this next movie. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it was I had the it was like May, and the two guys who run the studio came into my editing room, and they're like, "Hey man, we want to make a sequel." And I'm like, "Wow, that's awesome. The first one hasn't come out." And they were like, "Yeah, we want to be in production in October." And I'm like, "Well,
Oh
that
wow.
doesn't make any sense. That means the script's got to be done by June in order for us to prep." And they're like, "Yeah." And they just left. And it was like, what do I do here? Do I talk myself out of a movie, or do I just go for it, So I chose door number one.
That, I mean, yeah, that is a stressful but good problem to have, right? Like you didn't have enough time. You had to like get together a script, get, the entire cast back. So it's one of those things that you're like, oh, this is terrible, but also it's really great that they wanted to kind of keep the story going.
Right.
And
And it's like it happens in TV all the time. And I was living with these characters 24/7. And I had some ideas in my head, and Dylan and Ginny and their personal lives are about to get married. So it kind of all jibed together, and I said, so long as I can contain the story in like a 72-hour period, and didn't have to stretch it out, we could pull this off and tell it just a fun story. But also, like, what appealed to me was like, I'm like, I'll do this. I just don't want to tell the same story. I want to kind of shift genres. Like I've seen filmmakers do that in the past. It isn't really done that often. So let's get out of the heavy romance, and let's veer into more comedic thing. And it's just kind of how I was feeling post-COVID. And just the news was just so bleak, and I was like, I think this planet needs a laugh.
Yeah, for sure. And also that, that gets your stars and everyone involved, like, they don't want to come back and do the exact same thing. It lets them kind of stretch their acting chops, kind of
Yeah.
stretch these characters out and gives them something different. Plus, I mean, I think it was a great idea to then set it in like Mexico or wherever beach area you said, because they're like, hey, you want to come back? And also we're filming at the beach. So, it should be a really
Yeah.
fantastic couple of weeks. Come on down.
Yeah, it was. It was, and by then we were all like we were really tight. We made the previous one during the tail end of COVID restrictions in Bulgaria. So we were just hanging out with each other, and you kind of become a family. So when I got the news from the studio guys, it wasn't like, I'm like texting Dylan and Ginny, and I'm like, you'll never guess what just happened.
That's
Um, what do you think of this idea? What do you think of this idea? I'm running shit by them all the time. So we're all kind of collaborators and wearing each other's hats and all that.
No, that's awesome. I was gonna ask, like, was it tough to get the crew back, the cast back together after wrapping on one movie? But it sounds like everyone was, excited to do it, and it sounded like there was kind of a natural break in both Dylan and Ginny's careers where they were getting married, so maybe they didn't have projects lined up, so it kind of worked out perfectly. And apparently they're method actors too. I didn't realize that they were method actors. They like fully dove into these characters and got married so that they could then
Yeah,
do these
right?
characters on Beautiful Wedding.
Great. Yeah. No, we kind of knew everybody's schedule, and I'm like actually tight with the my friend created Outer Banks, so I knew what was going on there with Austin. So we kind of had a gist of who was doing what and when. And we kind of tailored it so it was a lot of the shooting was between Thanksgiving and Christmas, where we know a lot of films, other stuff is wrapped to make it film friendly.
Oh, that makes sense. And one of the new additions that I love seeing was Alex Iono. He was just in See You in Venus with Ginny Gardner that came out, I think, last year. So
Yeah,
how did he get involved? Is he like now part of this circle? Did Ginny just call him up and be like, hey, I got another movie for you. You
kind
want
of
to have
works
this?
like that.
Yeah.
She loved him, and I saw an early cut of the film because it's kind of part of the I'm Brian Pitt is a very good friend of mine, and he produced both films, and he's like, will you take a look at this film? And I was like, this is great. Who's that? And I had known Alex from I also did Pretty Little Liars, and he was on that. So it's all connected in one
Yeah.
way or another.
Yeah, and just like a wonderful person. I was actually able to interview him, and he just is this
Nice
like
stuff.
bright, glowing personality that was just so much fun to talk to. So I imagine he brought that to the set as well.
Oh my God. Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. And so where was this film? Did you actually get to go to like Mexico, or was this also in Bulgaria? Is Bulgaria just this like wonderful chameleon place?
We weren't able to go to Mexico. We went to the Dominican Republic, which is beautiful location. And we were all going all over the country. Great friendly people, a lot of, it was wild because we were there the same time Roadhouse was being filmed.
Mhm.
Just they were very welcoming, lovely. We wanted to make sure though that we were uh being true to our culture, the Mexican culture, and trying to get as authentic a Mexican look, when I call it cheetah location. You're not going in as the stupid American going, looks Mexican, you want to have an authentic look. So you're doing the best you can, but it was a pleasure working down there.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, with the first movie being filmed in Bulgaria, set in Las Vegas, this sounds like that was good prep for this movie. It sounds like you're just kind of a master of recreating these areas to
That's
have good
kind of the
shoots.
fun of filmmaking is
Yeah.
is cheating, is like, where you get that lens and you're like, oh, if you're on a 60, this looks like Sacramento, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And one thing I noticed is that at the end of this movie, There was no teaser. I know that there are more books, I think, in the universe. I don't know if there's more books in the in the story, but is there any thoughts of another one, or are you just kind of waiting for that call where they're like, you've got 5 weeks, go, let's do
Well,
another
I
one.
think, I took great liberties with this book series, and I think with the other books, they go off into the other brothers, and I think the book fans owe it, deserve, with those stories, they deserve it to be properly told. With those genres, I kind of went into crazy town, just getting the adaptation off the ground. I'm happy that the world is now aware of this series. So I'm always, like book series, I'm always interested in other filmmakers interpreting what they have. If the studio wants to continue with Abby and Travis and some wacky adventure, my number is 310. No, they know where to get together with Dylan and Jenny, I filmed the phone book.
That's awesome. And one last question before we go into a different section. There was a helicopter scene in this film. Did you actually get to fly in a helicopter? Or was that all movie magic, just like a lot of the location stuff?
No, it was movie magic. That was one of the challenging things is we couldn't find a runway in the DR,
Oh.
where we could land a plane, um, given our shooting schedule and all that. And I was like, a helicopter, So, and luckily, given our genre, no one's, I don't know. I mean, the movie hasn't come out. I'll go on the IMDb message boards where someone goes, "You can't fly a helicopter from Vegas, Mexico," you know.
Yeah, but I'm sure, yeah, like you said, given the genre, I'm sure people will be fine with it.
Yeah.
So I know you're a very busy man. We have limited time, so I'm going to switch to, I call it the lightning round. They're just lightweight questions about the film. I want to see how your personal experiences map to things in the film. You can feel free to skip any of them. I will not be offended, but I try to keep them very answerable. First question: are you married?
Yes.
All right. At your wedding, so at the wedding in this film, uh, the Ginny's character received something like very special from a family member. At your wedding, did you receive something special from a family member or something that was like important for your family?
No.
Okay. Uh, where was your honeymoon?
Punta.
All right, excellent. And there was a big scene here where Dylan's character carried Ginny across the threshold. Did you carry your spouse across the threshold?
Did I carry you across the threshold? Did I carry you across the threshold? Yes.
Oh, very life imitates art. I love it. And also very appropriate for someone to make so many romantic movies to kind of live that ideal. There's another scene in here where some of the characters are trying to watch an important game during a very big life event or very big kind of moment. Have you ever had to do that where you had to kind of like sneak away to try to catch a game or a show or something during some big event?
No, I'm terrible at watching sports.
Well, or you're living in the moment and don't want to be rude, right?
Oh
You can
yeah,
frame it either way.
dude, yeah.
The main characters in this film both have secret talents. Ginny is an amazing gambler, and Dylan's character is an amazing fighter. Do you have a secret talent that maybe the world doesn't know about?
I'm pretty much an open book on social media, so everyone knows about my jigsaw puzzle addiction.
That all right, there you go. That's awesome. And
Yeah.
yeah, that is a very particular talent. Have you ever hired a mariachi band outside of filming?
No.
All right. Well, new experiences for you to do. Did you have like a big bachelor party before you got married?
Oh yeah.
All right. We don't have to go into stories, but things you're proud of.
I did a dual one with the producer Neil Moritz at the Chateau Marmont.
That sounds lovely and very expensive. And the last question, this film starts with a blackout in Vegas. Have you ever blacked out in Vegas?
Not in Vegas.
Oh, That is very, very good self-control, because I figure blacking out in Vegas could be a lot of fun, or it could be very, very bad. So that's good to hear.
Right.
So the film is Beautiful Wedding. Is coming to digital and on demand on February 13th, 2024. You are out promoting it, getting the word out, getting people to see this film, and then also probably see Beautiful Disaster if they haven't seen it yet. Although I will note, you don't have to see Beautiful Disaster, because there is a lovely recap right at the start to catch you up with everything.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, I like that. I like that touch, just in case you haven't seen it. It's a very nice touch. But
yep.
after people see this film, after they see Beautiful Wedding, I'm sure you have other projects in the pipeline. What can they expect next from you? And maybe you don't know. Maybe your next project will come next week, and they'll be like, "Hey, we have to film in 5 weeks. Go."
I'm doing the Purim spiel at Temple Israel of Hollywood. No, you don't care.
If I could get there, I would, but that's a little bit
Yeah,
of a commute for
right.
me.
No, I don't know. I'm just kind of recharging, seeing, I was very lucky to be in post while a lot of my comrades were on the picket lines last year. So and I was doing that as well. And so I'm going to take some time and see how the business shakes out, and maybe I'll post my number up here. I'm looking to see what interests me.
There you go. Well, yeah, a much needed vacation. Maybe go to the Dominican, maybe go to Mexico. Maybe you can go to Mexico and have a nice.
We're celebrating the 25th anniversary of Cruel Intentions right now. So,
Oh wow. I don't know how you celebrate that. I mean, I love that movie, but do you like play cruel pranks on each other? Do you like get in each other's heads?
we have there's a musicals running in London right now, and take a victory. I show it to my dogs. Yeah.
That sounds wonderful. So yes, definitely celebrate the 20th anniversary of Cruel Intentions. But while you're doing that, check out Beautiful Wedding. It's coming to digital and on demand on February 13th, 2024. This is writer, director, and producer Roger Kumble. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate it.
Awesome, of course. Thank you so much. That was Roger Kumble, the writer, director, and producer of Beautiful Wedding, which is coming to digital and on demand on February 13th, 2024. It continues the events of Beautiful Disaster with the same great cast, some really crazy moments, and a good amount of heart. If you liked this interview, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.